Hi, I'm Caitlin, and this is Book Chats. And the Top 5 Wednesday of this week is authors you would like to meet. I thought this was a really cool Top 5 Wednesday because it's really different for different people, and it also is authors I would like to meet. So authors that I have already met are off the list. So I have been really fortunate for the last 2 years. I've lived in Washington, D.C. while I've been going to grad school, and there have been a lot of authors that have come through that I've been able to see. None of those authors will make this list, but to date, here are the authors that I would like to meet and have not. I'm just doing one quick note, too, that I decided I would only choose authors who I wanted to meet, for their writing, not for other reasons. So there's some authors who have written, a memoir, or not just a memoir, but, kind of a nonfiction book, but they're really famous for, their life outside of that. Somewhere buried on the shelf is a copy of Lean In, and Sheryl Sandberg would be cool to meet, but she's not, I don't want to meet her necessarily because of her writing. I want to meet her because of what she's done in other areas. So these are all people who their writing really is part of the reason I want to meet them, and I'll explain a little bit with each one. Coming at number 5, some of these I have books to represent and some I don't. Coming in at number 5, is Emily Jenkins, who publishes young adult fiction under the name of E. Lockhart. I actually missed out on the opportunity to meet E. Lockhart earlier in 2014. She came through DC, and I was able to get We Were Liars signed by her, but I wasn't able to go to the event because I was in school, and I pay a lot of money for those classes, so I do not skip them. Or I did not skip them. I'm done now. I love Emily's young adult books, which I have all read as an adult. I was aware of them as a young adult, and I thought that I was too good for them, or they were about boys, and I didn't have time for boys. But since then, I've read her books, and I just love the things that she says and the things she has to say about the importance of young women, and I just really like the way that she writes. And so I would love to meet Emily, and just tell her how much I love her books and how much I am glad that I discovered them as an adult, even though I poo-pooed them as a teenager. Coming in at number 4 is Alex Bracken. Alex I have been following for a long time because she is friends with Sarah Moss, who I've been following even longer. And she just seems like a really fun, cool person. I like her writing. I think it's very interesting. And I would love to talk to her about that, but I would also love to talk to her about her love of Star Wars, and just her time going to school and now living far away from her family, and she just seems like a very cool lady. And it should just be a hoot. And she's the author of Brightly Woven, and also the Darkest Minds trilogy. Coming in at number 3 is a pie in the sky. Oh my gosh, she never does events, but she does happen to live in the same general metro area as me, and I love her work so much. I can't even. It's Laura Hillenbrand. She is the author of Seabiscuit and of Unbroken. Unbroken is a book that I would recommend to almost anyone ever. There is a very small subset of people that I would not recommend it to, but otherwise, if you haven't read it, you should read it, and if you don't think you should read it because you've seen the movie, you should read it anyway. It's just amazing. Laura Hillenbrand just writes about history in a way that is so compelling and narrative and interesting, and she does her research very well, so I trust her. She's so cool, but she never does appearances or anything like that, and she writes books very, very slowly. She is super cool, and oh my gosh, if she ever did an event, or I just happened to meet her on the street and somehow recognized her, which I wouldn't because I don't have her image memorized, I would be so excited. So coming in at number 2 is the other author whose books I actually have with me here. And this is not going to be a surprise to those of you who know me who are watching this, because, oh my goodness, we've talked about this. Well, some of us have. I don't have the first book in the trilogy with me because it's on my home shelf, but I would love, you can always see because you can see the cover, I would love, love, love to meet Laini Taylor. She's the author of the Daughter of Spoken Bone trilogy. This is the second book and the third book in that trilogy. It's huge. I don't know what her brain is like, and I would love to talk to her about that. I would love to tell her how much her books meant to me. I would love to tell her how much this book especially meant to me. It rips a hole in your heart and then sprinkles salt in it and then rubs it on asphalt. It is just so raw in the way that it leaves you emotionally, and I felt so in tune with the characters, and it explores such big themes, and it's amazing. And so I would love to meet Laini Taylor. And then the number 1 top author that I would love to meet is actually my favorite author, and I don't know if a lot of you know that this is my favorite author. Her name is Melina Marchetta. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I hope so. She is this amazing Australian writer who writes really great young adult. A lot of you have probably heard of her fantasy trilogy. It's the Finnegan of the Rock. That trilogy is her fantasy trilogy, and she has just blown it out of the water with her contemporary. Her first two contemporary were very strong, but then she just like killed it with Jellicoe Road is what it's called in the United States, or On the Jellicoe Road, which is what it's called in Australia, is just this amazing like contemporary fiction sort of. I don't even know how to describe what this book is, but it is amazing, and if you have not read it, you should absolutely pick it up. And then the book that I really want to champion, that I love, that I like shove on everyone, The Piper's Son, and it's actually kind of an I consider it, it's marketed as young adult, but I would consider it as like very true new adult. It has a lot of like themes about growing up, and the characters are all out of high school, but like it's about a character who is a minor character in Saving Francesca, and just a lot of crap has happened in his life and in the lives of his family, and it's around him, and it's kind of about his family coming together and what family really is and means, and it's just like, Melina has just captured what family is in such a powerful and true way. I happened to read it while I was going through finals, and I was really emotional, and I just like wept. I wept reading this book, and then I reread it last year, and it was just as powerful the second time. And so I don't know if this will ever happen because she lives in Australia, and I don't know if she even does events, but I am just madly in love with Melina Marchetta's writing, and I would love the opportunity to meet her and to just like gush. And I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I've had the opportunity to meet or see a lot of authors in person, which for a lot of authors, like just seeing them in person is enough for me, just like seeing them at the National Book Festival give a speech or a talk or whatever. But like when I do actually like go into a signing line and meet them individually, or stalk them at a different author's signing politely and non-creepily, I like usually just get really tongue-tied and just can't, like I end up saying things that are really accidentally creepy or like just not what I intended to say. And so I'm sure if I ever actually met her, I would just be like and like nothing would come across. But what I would like to say if I ever got to meet Melina Marchetta is like, your writing is so meaningful to me. I love your work. You are my favorite author, and I feel like everything you write is so real and speaks to me, and especially The Piper's Son I read, and it just spoke to me about family and the importance of family, and like, you're amazing. So those are the 5 authors that I have not yet met and would love to meet. Thanks so much. Bye.